we'll start lying down. You might need a cushion, but it's not essential. It's really not essential today. So if you need to have a drink nearby, it's very warm, then make sure you've got something nearby. Just come to lie yourself down. I'll stay seated just for a moment to admit anyone who comes a little bit later. So if you want to have a good old stretch before you start stretching the arms out, let's start semi-supine today. So let's bring our feet to the floor. You can always take them a little wider apart today so your knees can knock into touch. And then let's just relax the arms down alongside you. And I always like to kind of have a little scoot across my shoulder blades there. So I can kind of draw my shoulder blades down and a little bit closer towards one another in that lovely inverted V shape. So I feel a lovely breath across my chest and an openness across my upper back. So do whatever movements you need. So yeah, it's very warm, and to me, yoga is all about, it's about listening. I heard a wonderful phrase once, that we need to tune our inner ear. So it's really important that today we use that ability to really tune into what's going on within us. If we get a little bit overheated, if we don't want to do a strong pose today, I'm acknowledging that. I'm not seeing that's a sign of weakness, but really just going with that. And a lovely phrase I really want you to carry through the practice today, I heard the other day, was go nowhere you can't take the breath with you. Isn't that lovely? Go nowhere you can't take the breath with you. So really breath-led, slower flow today, responding to the external conditions so that we can still enjoy a practice safely. So let's begin by tuning that inner ear to our breath this morning. And when it's warm, sometimes we kind of sit with our breath in our chest. So you might notice as you begin to drop that awareness inwards that that's where your breath is maybe settling at the moment, more in the chest. Well, that's no bad thing, there's nothing wrong with that, but over time it means all of the smaller muscles around our shoulders have to work a little bit harder to lift and lower the diaphragm, and they're not designed to do that. So just as the breath begins to settle, as the body begins to relax, see perhaps if you can just bring the breath down to those lowermost reaches of the lungs, maybe a little sideways expansion as well. Without forcing, again, remembering that lovely phrase, go nowhere you can't take the breath with you. So if that increases tension or doesn't feel comfortable at this stage in the practice, again, just listening, just acknowledging that, not rushing. See if you can find the length of your inhale and the breadth of your exhale. So the inhale being nice and long, drawing the breath right up to the collarbones. That lovely expansive exhale that allows the body, the back body, to become maybe that sense of broadening, softening into the space beneath you. So let's stick with that just for a few more rounds. We'll start off with a floor-based flow and be led by the breath. So again, let's really tune that inner ear to our breath. Softening the face. Just imagine that the mat beneath you has some kind of softening quality, almost like wet sand or marshmallow. So every time you exhale, you're almost sinking into that layer of support that's yielding beneath you. So the legs can stay exactly as they are, knees propped together or feet and the knees hip width apart. But just let's bring the arms a little bit higher up now. So just level with the shoulders, with the palms up towards the ceiling. Again, allow that softening, that tucking of the shoulder blades down, the neck nice and long. Let's just roll the head to the right, so the chin drops down towards the right shoulder, so you're looking towards the right hand. Seeing how that feels in the neck, seeing what happens to that left shoulder. And then we'll slowly bring the head back through centre. And we'll just take that to the other side, so the chin just drops over towards the left shoulder, taking the gaze over towards the left hand. And then we'll come back through centre. So this is almost our version of alternate nostril breathing on our mat. So we'll take an inhale. As you exhale, that will turn to the right. You can almost imagine that you're breathing out through your right nostril. Breathing in, imagine breathing in through both nostrils as you bring the head through centre. And exhale over to the left. And again, you can almost imagine you're breathing out through the left nostril. So just continuing with that little rock of the head side to side. So we'll keep it really slow so we don't get dizzy, we don't strain the neck. I don't know about you, but my neck and shoulders have been really feeling it now. I'm in desperate need of my usual a strong massage to get rid of all those knots. So I've been doing quite a lot of releasing in my upper body of late. So this is just a really nice straightforward one that helps stretch out through the sides of the neck. Coming back through centre as you inhale. And the next one. Let's do one more over to the right side. So it doesn't matter if you're travelling faster or slower than me today. Again, just using your breath to set the pattern for your practice. Lovely. So I'm doing one more over to the left. And the next time that you come back from the left, we'll pause with the head. Just gazing up towards the ceiling there. So if you've got your knees knocked together like I have, let's separate the knees so the feet are on the floor, knees pointing up towards the ceiling. Let's start a little gentle twist. Just going to rock the knees over to the right. Now you can stay there keeping the knees and the ankles stacked, or use that right hand just to bring that left knee a little bit higher up towards your chest. You're just gently scooping that knee up towards the chest, so the right knee stays down on the floor. And then we'll bring both feet to the floor, knees point up towards the ceiling as you roll onto your back. So we'll tip the knees over to the left, and again you can keep the knees and the ankles together, or the left hand just scoops the right knee up towards the chest a little bit more. I'm doing this now if you're a bit confused. And then let's come all the way back through centre, feet to floor, knees point to ceiling, taking inhale. Exhale, we'll twist to the right. You might use that right hand to scoop the left knee up to the chest. Inhaling through centre. And exhaling other side. So you're using the hand to draw that top knee a little bit tighter up towards the chest. So I'm deepening that sensation in my lower back and in my hip. And if that doesn't feel nice to suit into a practice, just keep your knees and your ankles stacked on top of one another. I quite like that little scoop of the knee. So I'm just beginning to release tension around my lower body again. A lot of us are sitting down. I read a terrifying statistic that British people are spending a quarter of the day online. Oh my goodness. We might be forced to with work, so let's undo a little bit of that through yoga. Let's do one more over to the left. So I'm dropping my knees to the left and scooping that right knee in towards the chest. And then I'll come back through centre, feet to floor, knees point up towards the ceiling. Lovely. I'm going to extend both arms back above the head and straighten out both legs now. Stretching the heels away from me, a little bit of drawing the toes towards my face. The heels might even lift a little bit as you elongate through the body. You might feel a little arching through the back of the chest, puffing up towards your chest a little bit. Lovely. Whatever feels nice, take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, let's keep the head down, but scoot your right knee in towards the chest. So we're just working again on opening up some space around the hip. And then when you're ready to inhale, extending out into that lovely full body stretch. And then scooping the left knee in. So I'm going to keep my head down. If you want to bring your nose towards your knee, feel free. I'm going to keep it nice and straightforward today. Inhaling, opening. And as you exhale, squeezing right knee to chest. You might hold in front or behind the knee. Lovely, finding again that length of the inhale and the breadth of the exhale. Let's do one more with each side. So with each time you bring that knee in, you might find that it comes in a little closer. And the shoulders can slide down away from the bottom of your ear, keeping the neck long. This is the last time I'm going to work with that left knee scooping in. I'm going to come back to that full body stretch as I inhale. And this time right knee comes in and I'll pause. I'm going to hold on to that right knee. So again, you can hold behind the knee if the knee doesn't like being compressed there. And And have a little circle off through that right foot. Lovely, just turning the ankle a few times each way. Now a deeper twist, so if you don't like this deeper twist with your left leg extended, come back to bending the knee with the foot on the floor. If you're with me, left hand to the right knee, right arm out, shoulder height with the palm up. And let's roll onto the left side, so we're bringing that right knee across the body. Just pause there, the shoulder blade probably is lifted, so my right shoulder's lifted and my left knee is nowhere near. So I'm just going to pause there for a moment. You can just stay there, just easing the body into that twist. Or like me, you can add a bit of movement, which is quite nice. So you might draw the knee towards the floor, feel the shoulder blade lift as you inhale. And as you exhale, you drop the weight into the shoulder blade and allow the knee to lift. So you might be working to your breath pattern. So it's a really slow little rock. There's no sense of forcing. But just that rhythmic rolling. So as the knee drops down, that right shoulder blade lifts up. Then we get the sense of dropping the weight into the shoulder blade and the knee just lifts. Let's do just a couple more. So we're just teasing a little bit of twist. Lovely. Beautiful. Let's roll all the way back onto our backs, back into that full body extension. Take that lovely long inhale. And exhale, left knee comes to chest, and we'll pause there again. Slide shoulders away from ears, up the chin towards your chest, and have a little turn through the foot. So just loosen off through that left foot. And then we'll keep the right hand on the knee, left arm out shoulder height. And again, we're going to take that roll to the right, carrying the left knee with us on the outside edge of that little right foot. And again, my knees not touching the floor and my shoulder blades lifted. So I'm going to do that little rock. So as I inhale, I'm going to draw the knee down and allow the shoulder blade to release. And exhale, try and drop the weight into the shoulder blade and allow the knee to lift. So it's a really small little rock. If you don't want to rock, you can just pause and hold, just enjoying that sense of rotation through the spine. Sometimes in these stronger poses, these stronger twists, just coming in and out with the breath, just to pause and open the space. Little train going by there. Let's do one more if you're with me. So the knees dropping down, shoulder blade lifts. And then as the shoulder blade drops down, let's roll all the way onto our backs, back into that full body stretch, opening out, flexing the feet, reaching back through the hands, and then scooping both knees into the chest. Head stays down. Rock the knees side to side, lovely massage out through the back, tops the buttocks. And then wherever there's space, roll onto that side and make your way onto all fours. I'm going to come and turn around. And then from all fours, take a child's pose. So you might need to widen your knees, you might need to pop that little cushion between your bottom and your heels as you sink your hips back. I'm going to suggest taking the elbows out a little wider. You can always stack the hands and make a little support for your head. Or just have the hands in front of the top of your head, forehead to floor. But with the elbows a little wider apart there, a little softness, we can allow that broadness across your upper back. I'm going to lift my head just so you can hear me talk, but try and support your head on something. Your hands, stacked fists. But again, that sense of just taking the elbows out towards sides of your mat, breathing into the back of the body, into the sides of the body again, really finding that breath of the breath. Let's just stretch both arms out in front of you. Turn your head to the right, so you're just resting on your left cheek or temple. And bring that right hand alongside your right knee. Right hand alongside your right knee. And now just walk that left hand a little bit over to the right. So you're making that little arc or C shape through the left side of the body. And you might even turn your gaze towards almost your right foot, looking back towards the wall behind you. So you're getting again a stretch in the neck. A little bit of openness through the left side of the body, opening there with that left arm just reaching over to the right. You can stay there with that right hand by your right knee, or bring the back of the hand onto your lower back. That right hand, so you're just opening, rolling the shoulder. And some of you might bend the elbow and put your fingertips up between your shoulder blades and slide your fingertips up towards your shoulder blades. So you're almost in a cow face. Those of you familiar with it are. If that's not for you, hand rests on the low back or hands just alongside the knee. So you're getting that sense of just a little bit of openness through the shoulder. Just take a couple of breaths there. And then let's release that right arm. Sweep both arms out in front of you, turning the head to the left this time. Left hand to the, just alongside the left knee. Walking that right arm over to the left. And again, you might take the gaze back, almost towards your left foot, or keep looking towards the side, whatever's comfortable. Just settle on in there, feeling that openness through the right side of the body this time. You might be on tented fingertips, little spider fingers on that right hand if you want. Left hand might wrap around your low back, rolling that shoulder open, or bending the elbow, pointing your fingertips up towards your shoulder blades and sliding your hand up between your shoulder blades. So fingertips are pointing up towards your neck. If that doesn't work for you or that explanation isn't clear enough, just keep the hand on the low back or by the knee. It really doesn't matter. Again, just finding the breath, finding the space. And then we'll release, sweeping both arms in front of you so we can slowly make our way onto all fours, hands under shoulders, knees underneath your hips there. So coming into a little arching of the back. So let's dip the belly down, tilt the tailbone up, a little arching of the back. So keep it nice and soft. Maybe add a little sway of the hips, a little wiggle of the hips to loosen off around the low back. And then as you push into hands and knees and round the back, give the head a little shake, let the head hang, keep the neck nice and long. And then let's just roll with the breath. Again, inhaling, dipping the belly, gazing forwards, maybe a little wag of your tail. And then exhaling, as you round the back, allow the head to drop. Maybe again, that little shake from side to side. So just working with your breath now, you might not want to add the wag or the shake. You might just want to be a cat and cow with no bells and whistles. But if you're enjoying that little wag or shake, feel free to add some swag to your wag this morning. Lovely, working with the breath, finding that space in the body. Let's do one more. Inhale. This time as you exhale, to once more come into a child pose, but this time widen your knees a little bit, sink back towards your heels, and we'll keep the arms out nice and long. A little bit of floor-based flow here. So instead of a strong vinyasa, we're going to do a little floor-based one. So with the arms out nice and long, let's come onto all fours as you inhale, separating your feet. And as you exhale, we've done this before, we lower the body gradually down between the arms, stretching out long through the chest. Finding that cobra as you push into your hands, lifting the chest. And as you exhale, point the toes together, sit back towards your hips. Lovely. That lovely slow flow. Again, go nowhere you can't take the breath with you. Inhaling up. Exhaling, really getting the sense of first your thighs, then your belly, then your chest. That lovely rippling sensation coming down. Inhaling, lifting the chest as you push the floor away. Big toes point towards one another. Lovely. So we'll do that twice more. So allow that movement just to be really kind of organic again, listening to where you want to go. So if you want to not come down quite so far, you can always just dip your chest down between your arms, so more of a plank position. I'll show you that for the last one. Rather than coming all the way down. So you can always inhale, come up, and as you exhale, just take a little dip, so almost just dropping down onto the tops of your thighs, and then inhale, push the floor away. And exhale back into that child pose. Beautiful. We're going to find our way onto all fours now. Lovely. Tuck your toes under and walk your hands back towards your knees. And then see if you can lift your knees and sit up on your heels in a little squat. Drop your chin down towards your chest. If you don't like that, come into a forward fold. Straightening the legs and allowing the head to hang. But if you're with me, we're just perched up on the heels there. Nice stretch out through the feet. And slowly, slowly, we're going to push the hips up towards the ceiling, keeping a softness in the knees as you come into that first forward fold. And we'll drape the belly over the thighs, allow the arms to hang. I'm going to move forwards a little bit so you can see me. Lovely. So really keep a softness in the hamstring. You can sway. If you don't like having your head lower than your heart when it's warm, just bring your hands higher up above the knees, so you're in more of a flat back shape, but keep a nice softness there through the legs. Then slowly, slowly, let's see if we can start to straighten off through the legs a little bit, opening up through the backs of the knees. Lovely. You might want to rest your hands on your shins or your thighs. Lovely. Opening up through the backs of the legs. And then softening the knees, rolling your way up to stand. Really slowly, keep the gaze nice and low as you roll your way up. Lovely. Let's take a nice big shoulder roll here. So as you inhale, roll the shoulders all the way up and back. And as you exhale, fold the body down over the legs, really fluidly. So as you inhale, we rise up to stand, drawing the shoulders up towards your ears. Exhale, slide the shoulders back as you roll the body down over the legs. Lovely. We're going to do that twice more. So again, you can make that movement as big or as small as you want. If you don't want to lift and lower over the legs, just do the shoulder rolls from a standing position. I quite like this fluid flow stretching out through the back. Last one, inhaling. This time as you exhale, let's all meet and forward fold down, rolling the body down. And let's pass the hands forward. So we're in a downward dog or drop onto all fours if the downward dog is today. Let's have that little pedal out through the feet. Let's keep it nice and loose again, keeping it moving, keeping that connection with the breath. Slow, slow pedal. Beautiful. And then we'll bring the left foot to the middle of the mat. So you can do this from all fours. And we'll take the right leg up behind us. Lovely. Let's bend that right knee. Take a nice breath in. And as you breathe out, shift the weight forwards, bringing your nose towards your knee, knee towards nose. We're going to do that twice more. So inhale, leg extends. You can do it from all fours. Exhale, get that lovely rounding of the back. Scoop the belly as you hug the knee in towards your chest. Last time, inhale. This time as you exhale, we'll bring that knee to your chest and then place that right knee down between your hands. Sliding that left leg back. So this is when you might want a cushion underneath your bottom so you can sit on that heel more comfortably. So I'm going to widen the arms. I'm going to drop that back knee, keeping it soft, but keep the toes tucked under. Take the arms out nice and wide. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, allow the body to melt forwards, nose towards your mat. And then inhale, ripple your way up. So move as fluidly as we can as we do that twice more. Elbows nice and wide. Lovely. Once more, inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. So this time we'll lift the chest. Bring your hands a little closer in towards one another so they're kind of framing that knee. You can push the floor away, lift up through the chest. And if you wish, take the gaze over the left shoulder and maybe pick up that left knee there. So you're stretching out through the hip and stretching out through the neck. Keep pushing into the hands. Beautiful. Let's lower that back knee. Take the gaze forwards. You're going to push into the hands. So you can pick up that right knee and just place the right knee down underneath your right hip. It's almost back on all fours. Straighten out through that left leg. You're going to roll onto the inside edge of that left leg and take the left arm up towards the ceiling. Lovely. So you're in like a side plank, but I've not spun on that right knee. Push into the top of that right foot, helps you balance. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, let's circle that left arm forwards and down. Inhale, circle the arm up. As you release that arm down, can you really just let it go, let it swing. Once more, inhale, keep pushing into the top of that right foot for balance. Exhale. Inhale, sweep that left arm up. And as you exhale, hand comes to the floor. Bring that left knee in underneath the left hip, back onto fours, back into that child pose, hips to heels. Well done. Inhale, rise up onto fours. Exhale, that little moving flow, thighs, belly and chest melting all the way down. Back onto that little cobra as you push the floor away. And back into that child pose. Let's do that once more. So that lovely sense of fluid flow with the breath. Inhale, rippling up. Exhale, so again, that sequential release. Thighs, belly and chest. All the way up. Lovely. Back into that child pose. And from that child pose, walk hands back towards your knees. Tuck your toes. Come into that little squat or straight into a forward fold. I'm going to come onto my little tented fingertips there. Both hands. And then I'll scoot forward so you can see me. Drop your chin down towards your chest. A little bit more to open the hamstrings. So as you inhale, let's begin to drop the heels down as you push the hips up. Maybe just come a third of the way up into that forward fold. And as you exhale, pick up the heels and sit down into that little squat. So maybe straightening the legs a little more this next time. Inhaling, hips come high. Maybe the heels drop down and the legs straighten a bit more. And then we come back into that little squat. Lovely. So this time we'll come all the way up into that forward fold. So bend the knees as much as you need to. Allow the arms to hang, chin to chest, roll your way up, slowly, slowly, slowly. Back into that little shoulder roll. So inhale, roll the shoulders up, soften the knees. Exhale, we ripple down, bending the knees into that little forward fold. Melt the belly over the thighs. Lovely. Inhale, rise up so the arms dangle. We bring the shoulders up. And then release that slow roll down. Lovely. Last time, all the way up. This time as you exhale, we'll ripple down, bringing the hands to the floor and padding forwards into our downward dog or straight onto fours. Again, add that little walk out or a little shake of your hips, a shake of your head if you're on fours. Beautiful. And then this time, right foot to the middle of the mat. So we can take the left leg up and back. We can do it from fours, remember. Take an inhale. That slow exhale, knee to chest, round the back as you bring shoulders above wrists. Lovely. Inhale back into that three-legged dog, or just extend the leg back for fours. Exhale, knee to chest, nose to knee. Woo! Last time, inhale. This time as you exhale, we're going to bring that left knee all the way between the hands, bringing that chin down, sliding that right leg back, and again, you might want a cushion between your bottom and that left heel there. So again, I've dropped the back knee, kept the toes tucked under, widening the arms so my chest is nice and broad. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, that melting of the chest down, almost forehead brushes the floor. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, that rippling water-like quality. Push the floor away. Inhale, last time. So really moving fluidly all the way down. And then this time we'll lift the chest and bring the hands a little closer towards one another so they're almost just slightly in front of that front knee. Beautiful. So we can stay there, just pushing the floor away. We can lift that back knee, opening up through the front of the right hip. You can even look over that right shoulder, so you're looking back towards the foot. So all of those are layers that we can add on, really listening to what the body needs today. Beautiful. So we're going to push into the hands, so you can just lift that left knee and place it directly under the left hip, not changing anything else. So the toes are pointing to the back of the mat. Spin onto the inside edge of that right foot. Right arm circles all the way up as you inhale. So it's a little side plank variation, a bit more balance required. Exhale, let the arm go. So try pushing into the top of that left foot if you feel wobbly, or just spin that shin behind you if you really feel unstable there. One big circle. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Lovely. Inhale up. And this time as you exhale, we'll come back onto fours. Sliding both knees in, and as you exhale, we'll take that child pose. Beautiful. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower all the way down to the floor. Push the floor away as you inhale. Exhale, back into that child pose. Just once more. Inhaling. We're going to add on and build our little flow all the way down as you exhale. Beautiful. Inhaling up. And this time as you exhale, either stay on fours or tuck toes, lift hips downward facing dog. I'm just going to turn and face the other way to support the right leg for you. Beautiful. So you're going to bring the left foot to the middle of the mat. Right leg lifts as you inhale. And as you exhale, bring that knee to the chest, and we're going to place the knee down straight away, just as we did before. Sliding that left leg back, so again, you're sitting on that right heel. Arms out nice and wide. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you stretch the chest forwards. Lovely. Twice more. We're going to build our little flow now. Inhale, that lovely lifting up. Stretching the belly over that right thigh as you exhale. Just once more. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. So bringing the hands closer towards one another, framing the knee, push the floor away. Pick up that back knee and maybe look over left shoulder towards left foot. Beautiful. Then we'll bring the gaze forwards, push into the hands and place that right knee directly underneath right hip. Keep the shin as it is. Turn onto the inside edge of the left foot. Sweep the left arm up as you inhale. Keep pushing into the top of that right foot. Exhale, just let the arm go. Lovely. Twice more. Inhale up. Big release as you exhale. Lovely. Just once more. Inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. So sweep the arm up. Bring the hands down this time. So just turn yourself so you're on the ball of the back foot. Lovely. Push into the hands. Pick up that right knee and see if you can step that foot forwards. Whoop, between your hands. If it doesn't quite get there, drop the back knee. Beautiful. So we're going to pick up that back knee, turning the heel in, toes out. Almost for a warrior two. You're going to rest your right elbow on that right thigh. So we're in a side angle. Circle that left arm up as you open the chest. And as you exhale, look down as you release. So twice more. Inhale, circle the arm. So we're resting elbow on thigh, keeping it nice and gentle. One more inhale. This time as you exhale, we're going to bring the fingertips to frame that front foot. Legs stay the same. If that doesn't work and hands don't reach the floor, just bring your hands one on top of the other, just above that bent right knee resting on your thigh. Let's try straightening both legs now. So straightening that right leg and then bending the right knee, belly over thigh. So inhale, straightening right leg. Exhale, bending knee. So remember, you can do this with the hands on your thigh. Inhale, straightening the leg. And exhale, bending the knee. Lovely. Let's do one more, just teasing some length out of that hamstring. Beautiful. So let's have the knee bent. And bringing your right hand to your right shin, let's straighten that right leg and take that left arm all the way up. So we're in a triangle pose. Left arm reaching up. And take the gaze down towards that right big toe. Let's keep it nice and soft. Just tuck the bottom in if you notice your bottom is scooting out to the side. And again, we'll circle that left arm forwards and down. And then turning the gaze up as you inhale, reach up. Gaze comes down as you circle that arm. And then all the way up, maybe looking up as you inhale, last time. Beautiful. So let's all meet in that Trikonasana triangle, reaching the left arm up. Beautiful. And then using that left arm, we're going to rise all the way up so the body lifts, turning the toes to face forwards and bringing the hands to the hips. We're in a wide leg position there. So you can slightly pigeon toe your feet if your back feels tight, turning your toes in, heels out. Let's roll the shoulders down the back, point the elbows to the wall behind you, take an inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to fold the body forwards and allow the hands just to drop down to the floor underneath your face there. And then continuing with that movement, let's start to bend one knee and then the other. If the hands don't reach the floor, again, bring your hands above your knees. Tune into that rhythm of your breath, inhaling, one knee bends, exhaling, changing sides. So deliberately, consciously controlling that breath. You might linger a breath or two over to one side before you change. Lovely. And then we'll come all the way back through center, hips high. And turning that right foot forward. So you take a little pivot on the right heel, so you're walking the hands around to frame that right foot. And we'll step back into a downward facing dog. Lovely. And we'll try all of that on the left side. I'll come and face you. So we'll take left leg up, take an inhale. Exhale, round the back, knee to chest, and we'll place that left knee down between the hands. Sliding that right leg back. You're going to take a moment to get yourself comfortable. You can always use that little pillow between your bottom and your heel. Arms come nice and wide. Take an inhale. Allow the belly to melt over the thighs. You exhale. Forehead might brush the floor. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, slowly melt down. Lovely. Just once more. Inhale. and exhale. So this time as we lift the chest, just bring your hands a little closer towards one another, framing that knee. And pick up that back knee if you wish, and take a look over your right shoulder. Lovely, so you're feeling that stretch in the top of the hip. And then bring the gaze forwards, push into hands, and just slide that left knee back underneath left hip. Toes still point towards the back of the room, the back of your mat. You're going to roll to the inside edge of that right foot. And then we'll circle that right arm up as you inhale. And just let it swing as you exhale. Let it go twice more. Again, if balance is really wibbly wobbly, again, you can pivot on that knee and turn that left shin back behind you. But try pushing into the top of the foot. So this time we'll circle the arm up. Ready for that little transition? It's a bit tricky. So we'll bring the hands down, square off through your hips, and push into your hands. So can you lift that right knee? So you've really got to round the back and see if you can step that left foot forward. So if it doesn't quite get there, drop the back knee, left foot between the hands. Beautiful. You're going to adjust that back foot, heel in, toes out, as though for a warrior two. And just rest your left forearm on your left thigh. And then as you inhale, circle that right arm up so we open the chest. If you need to bring your hand onto your thigh rather than your forearm, feel free. So 3 big circles, circling up as you inhale. And then just letting the arm drop as you exhale. Once more, all the way up. And then all the way down. So this time we'll circle the arm up. And then bring fingertips to frame that front foot. Or if they don't quite get there, one hand resting on top of the other, just above that bent left knee. So let's see if we can tease some length into that left leg. So straightening off through the leg. So your belly is kind of stretched over the thigh. And then we'll bend the knee. So inhaling, stretching off through the leg, trying to keep your belly quite close to that thigh. And exhale, we'll bend the knee. Beautiful. Lovely. Seeing how that feels, listening to how that feels. So this time we'll bend the knee, bring left hand to left shin, straighten off through that left leg, and we'll take the right arm up towards the ceiling, opening up through the chest. So again, just make sure your bottom hasn't stuck out. So a little softening of that front knee. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, look down as you circle the arm forwards and down. And then you might look up as you sweep the arm up. So you're getting a little bit of movement into the neck. That isn't nice for you, then just keep the gaze down or up. Lovely. So this next time, we're going to have that triangle pose, pausing there, reaching up with the right hand. Again, gaze might be down or up. If you've got your gaze up, just try drawing your upper body, including your head, a little bit back. Just a tiny bit. It tends to bring the body back in line with the hips. They're lovely. And now imagine someone is pulling us up by that right hand. We're going to rise all the way up. Hands to hips, turn the toes forwards. Again, you can add that little pigeon toe if the back feels tight today. So option, hands to hips, roll the shoulders, squeeze the shoulders, elbows towards the wall behind you, or a little bit more for shoulders, try interlacing your hands. So the heel of the hands are apart, draw the knuckles down, take an inhale, and as you exhale and fold, the arms might lift above the head. So if that isn't for you, bring your hands down to the floor. And we'll come back to that little shifting of weight side to side. So inhaling, one knee bends, and then exhaling over to the other. So if, like me, you've got your arms interlaced behind you, we can't use any pressure in our fingertips to help shift the body, so it's much harder, as well as the shoulders. So at any time you need to bring your fingertips down to the floor, feel free. Let's do one more, a little shift of weight from foot to foot, side to side. And then if you're with me with the arms lifted, bring the hands down to the low back, and then fingertips to the floor, just underneath the face. Beautiful. So I'm going to turn my left foot forward. So I'm going to have a little pivot, but do whatever is going to bring you back onto fours safely. So turning over left or right, it really doesn't matter. We're all going to step back into a downward dog. And then from downward dog, drop down onto all fours. And from all fours, take a moment in that child pose with the elbows nice and wide. Maybe stacking hands so you can rest forehead on hands. Just take again a couple of long, deep breaths there, finding the length and breadth of each breath. A bit of a drink there. Lovely. Finding the length of your inhale, the breadth of that exhale. Stretching the arms out. Let's make our way back onto all fours. Hands under shoulders, knees underneath hips. Beautiful. So let's see if we can drop down onto our elbows, keeping your forearms parallel. So you're going to sit back into that child pose, dropping down onto your elbows. So your elbows are in line with your index fingers. And then as you come back onto all fours, heel up through the arms, through back on the palms of the hands. Lovely. Maybe add a little arch of the back as you inhale. And as you exhale, maybe a little rounding of the back as you sink down onto your forearms. Try and keep those elbows in. Lovely. A couple more like that. Inhale, so you rise up, maybe a little arch at the back. Exhale, round. Elbows in line with your middle fingers. Mine always want to kind of splay out there. Lovely. Let's do once more. Inhale. Exhale, that little squeezing of elbows in towards one another. This time we'll inhale, come onto all fours, tuck the toes under. And as you exhale, we're going to come into standing kneeling. So you roll all the way up. You can always pad up underneath your knees. I'm going to tuck my toes under. Some people like to keep their feet flat. Choice is yours. I'm just going to start a little sway from side to side. So turn from side to side. That front arm just reaching across the body, trying to keep your hips in line with the knees. So you might start to look back towards the foot that you're swaying round towards. Might be much smaller. Let's do one more like that, that little twist, side to side. And then we'll come all the way back through center, firming up through the glutes, sweeping the arms up. And then we'll swing the hands round towards your low back. Now, traditionally, they say fingertips are pointing up towards your shoulder blades. I really can't do that on my hands, but if any of you want to do that, it's quite a deep wrist stretch. I like to keep my fingertips pointing down. Whatever we do, roll the shoulders back. And as you begin to push the hips forwards, think about elongating your belly. So hips push forward, chest lifts. Again, I like to keep my chin tucked in here. But if you do want to drop your head back, feel free, but that is strong on the neck. Keep pushing the hips forward. So try to keep your hips above your knees. Lovely. Listen to the body, listen to the back. Lovely. Slowly, slowly chin to chest. Releasing from that back stretch. Bring your fingertips down to the floor. And once more, I'm going to pick up my knees and come into a little squat because that really drops the weight into my lower back and stretches things out. If you want to come onto all fours and do an angry cat pose to stretch your low back, feel free. And then wherever you are, we'll all meet on all fours, knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders, flattening feet, dropping down onto your forearms, squeezing the elbows together, take an inhale. Oh no, wrong one. Inhale, we come up. Getting my breath up. I'm going somewhere I can't take a breath. Exhale as you round. There we go, back in with it now. Lovely, just once more. Inhale, so we rise up, little arch at the back. And again, really making sure, like me, that the elbows don't want to splay out to the side as you exhale. Let's inhale, come onto all fours. And this time as you exhale, toes tuck. And we rise all the way up into standing kneeling. Lovely. So again, that little sway to start with. So just turning to look towards your back foot. So if your lower back feels tight, I'm going to suggest that you stay in the version that we've just done. Some of us might want a deeper back stretch of camel. If you've never done it before, maybe remotely isn't the time to do it. So let's come back to center. Sweep the arms up as you inhale. And as you exhale, let's bring the hands to the low back. We'll all start there. So again, fingertips might be pointing up. I'm going to keep mine down. Roll the shoulders. Lengthen the belly. Lift up through the chest. Now, you might want to stay there, or if you can, I'm going to lean back a little bit to reach my heels. And then again, push the hips forwards. If you like to let your head hang, feel free. I don't, it doesn't feel nice. Lovely. Ustrasana, camel pose. It's a strong pose. So maybe just holding for 1 or 2 more breaths, hands to low back, or reaching back towards heels. And wherever you are, dropped into chest. If you're in full camel like me, one hand to the low back and then the other. Once more, sit back towards heels. I'm going to come into that squat, fingertips to floor, lifting the knees and getting that lovely rounding through the back. Or all fours and take an angry cat. And if you're in that angry cat, rounding the back, you might nudge your hips from side to side just to stretch it all out. Beautiful. And slowly, slowly, let's come back down onto all fours. And then just tuck your feet to one side, swing your feet to one side so you can drop down and come to a seated position. Beautiful. So I'm going to bring my right shin in front of left. Again, if you need cushions underneath you to prop yourself up, feel free. I've got my right shin in front, but you can stretch the legs out if you want to. I'll come and sit sideways on to start with. So I'm going to bring fingertips behind me. So I'm going to point my fingertips away from me, but it really doesn't matter. It just helps open my shoulders. Take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, just allow the body to melt forwards again. Inhale, rising up, shoulders above hips. Exhale, so you can see with my fingertips pointing away from me, I'm keeping my shoulders away from my ears. Once more, inhale, we lift the chest. This time as you exhale, we'll fold forwards and sweep the arms forwards, sliding them away from you perhaps, coming into a deeper forward fold. If you need to walk your hips back or slightly adjust there, or walk your hands closer in to keep the chest more lifted, feel free. So we'll all be in a slightly different expression of that forward fold there. Again, listening to the breath, noticing if your hips, your bottom want to lift, means you've gone a little bit too far too soon. So just draw your hands back a little bit so you can keep your sit bones glued down. Easy with the breath. And that breath of your exhale. And length of inhale. Then, when you're ready, let's walk the hands back towards you. I'm just going to lift my knees so I can reach down and take hold of my feet. You might want to give this one a little miss. See if you can add little cheeky balance here. So I'm going to lift my feet. So I'm going to work through my core, maybe drop chin to chest, a little rounding through the back. It's a little cheeky, playful one there. And then lifting the chin. See if you can swap the legs. Left shin in front this time. So I've got my right heel into my groin there. Beautiful. Sitting up nice and tall. Fingertips again. I'm going to point mine away from me so I can roll the shoulders back as I inhale. And exhale, try and keep the chest open. So it might not be a big tip forwards at all. I'm keeping my fingertips on the floor. Inhale. And exhale. So again, that lengthening forwards. And this next time we'll hold in that forward fold. So inhale, we ripple up. And this time we sweep the arms forwards. Maybe sliding them away or walking them back a little closer again. It's going to be your forward fold. So if your bottom's lifted up, we've lost that anchor point. So I like to take a little moment there just to walk my hips back, melt the chest down. A couple of breaths there. And you might notice, like I do, that one side feels much stiffer than the other. So I'm going to have to just let go of any expectation on this side that I want to yield as far forward as I did on the other, and just back off, because my hip is tight. So yoga is about letting go. It's about letting go of those expectations, those ideas that we've got to reach a certain pose in order to classify as a good yogi. About letting go of all of that, putting ego back to one side. Slowly, slowly, let's walk our way back up. And again, I'm just going to lift my knees so I can take hold around the outside edges of my feet. Little playful ones. So you pick up your feet, see if you can round the back. Oh, as you balance right on your sit legs. Beautiful. And then let's bring the feet down to the floor and just walk your feet a little further away from you. There we go. So about hip width apart, hands behind you, fingertips pointing out to the side, or maybe turning the fingertips away from you. Choice is yours. It really doesn't matter. So let's roll the shoulders, lift the chest. Stay there, getting that lovely broadening across your heart. Or begin to slide bottom towards the heels and then push your hips up towards the ceiling. So we should have knees stacked above your ankles there. So you might need to adjust your feet slightly if you feel that you're kind of too much pressure on your knees or your ankles. Lovely. Keep the knees squeezing in towards one another. Beautiful. And then slowly, slowly lower the hips. You're going to sit up tall, hold on behind the knees and see if you can come into a cheeky Navasana oak pose. So lean the weight back slightly. You're going to lift the shins parallel to the floor. Beautiful. Then bringing the feet down, hands behind you. Push into the hands as you inhale, lifting up. And as you exhale, lower the hips. Holding on behind the knees. As you inhale, see if you can come up into that little boat pose, holding behind the knees. And as you exhale, feet to floor, hands come down behind you. Inhale, push the hips up. Exhale as you lower. Inhaling into that little boat pose. Maybe straightening the legs if you wish. And as you exhale, let's bring the feet down to the floor. Hold on around the fronts of the knees. Chin to chest, straighten the arms and get that lovely rounding through the back. A little hollowing out through your belly there. Lovely. Sitting up nice and tall. Bring the hands back behind you so you can just walk your way down onto your mat. Be sure you don't knock into anything as you do so. And then give the knees a squeeze and a scoop. A little massage, side to side. Beautiful. And then we'll bring the feet down to the floor, hip width apart, and the arms out shoulder height. Arms up towards the ceiling. Lovely. Coming back to that little twist we did at the beginning. So if you need to keep your knees and your ankles together, feel free. If you want to add that little scoop, we'll tip the knees to the left. Left hand scoops right knee in and up towards your chest. As you inhale, come back to center. Exhale, tip knees to right. Right hand might scoop left knee up towards chest. Let's just do a few more like that. Again, if you just want to tip both knees from side to side. Not worry about adding that little scoop of knee to chest, and feel free to do so. I'm going to do one more to the left, with or without that scoop, and one more to the right. Lovely. When you come all the way back through to center, let's come back again as we did at the beginning to that full body stretch, stretching out through the arms and the legs, flexing the feet, the heels might even lift. And then this time let's interlace the hands and push the palms away from you. Just take a couple of breaths there, really enjoying that sense of space, almost ironing out all those kinks and knots that we might have gathered over the last week or so. And when you're ready, allowing the body to soften. Bringing the arms like a snow angel all the way back down alongside you with the palms up towards the ceiling, or resting one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. Widen your feet. Maybe just have a little flip-flop through your ankles, rolling toes in and out, just to make sure there's no tension in the legs. And allow the heels to rest in, the toes to flop out. And try and find a sense of balance there. And if that really is uncomfortable on the back, then of course we bend our knees and just rock your knees together. So as you get yourself sorted for a few moments of Shavasana, that lovely final pose, again, I almost like to just lift up my chest so I can bring my shoulder blades again down my back, elongating the neck, broadening through the chest. And then bring the awareness again to that sense of balance through the body. Balance, the weight in your heels if your legs are extended. The back of your pelvis. Across the upper back, your shoulder blades. And then make sure that you've got the very middle of the back of your head is resting on the floor and the chin dropping gently down towards the chest, that lovely elongation through the neck. And then we come back to listening, tuning in to that inner ear. And you might notice the mind, the body and the breath maybe feel a little bit different at the start of the practice. Maybe we've opened up some space, maybe you've discovered some pockets of tension you didn't know were there. Every time we come to the mat, we become a listener and observer. So observing the breath now. Again, imagining that the mat beneath you has a sense of softness. So with each exhale, we allow the body to almost yield into that softness, that imaginary support and softness. And warm, wet sand or the most comfy bed you've ever laid on. There's nothing to hold on to. You can just let go. Ready. Just again, see if you can find that length of your inhale. And the breath of your exhale. Just relish that for a moment, just again, listening. That wave-like sensation, that rhythmical sensation of your breath rising and falling. Before you begin to introduce a bit of movement back into the body, keeping it soft, keeping it gentle. Wiggling the fingers, maybe a rolling of the head side to side. And if you've got your knees bent and you want to just enjoy full body stretch arms. Just take them gently now back above the head, enjoying that sense of space, sense of pushing or striving the body now. Just let it go where it needs to go. And then we'll meet when you're ready. Just giving your knees a little squeeze in your own time. And there might be some movement. You might just want to linger in stillness with your breath. Or you just roll to one side. And then come and join me in a comfortable seated position. It never has to be cross-legged. Just again, just roll the shoulders up towards the ears. Let them slide down your back so you get that sense of a long neck. And we'll bring the hands into that final gesture, Anjali Mudra, palms together, thumbs resting in the breastbone. Without dropping the body forwards, just allow the chin to drop very gently down. Leave you with this lovely thought. The quieter we become, the more we can hear. So namaste. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Helen.